So today I'm going to talk about what you truly want, which is wholeness, psychological wholeness. And I say psychological for all those non-duality people out there who don't believe the psyche is real. Psychologically, if the energy of wholeness has penetrated the psyche, the soul, that looks like in your physical life, there is no longer a seeking energy. There's no longer an external search. There's no longer a worshiping of false idols. There's no longer pedestalizing people. There's no longer feeling bad about myself if I don't have X, Y, or Z. There is no longer any feeling of lack. There's no feeling of lack. You're just here, not looking for anything. um, You're just here, not looking for anything, not searching for anything. And I love that line in A Course in Miracles that says, all illness is a form of external searching. So health is wholeness. Health is wholeness. Physical health, emotional health, psychological, mental health is wholeness. So in this video, I'm going to tell you suggestions of how to get there faster. Wholeness is it's a more fundamental desire than the experience of an emotion. People say, go for the joy, go for the freedom, just be light and have fun. But in my opinion, that's not deep enough, because if you follow that advice, okay, you could like dance in the morning and turn on music and have fun and do things that light you up and relax and meditate and create peace. But when you instead go for wholeness, which is beneath those things, wholeness is inherently peaceful because there is no perception of lack. There's no perception of where's my soulmate? Where's my twin flame? There's no perception of, oh, I didn't receive a text from that person. That things like that no longer hurt you. They don't cause the feeling of lack within you. Wholeness is inherently peaceful because I'm not trying to get anywhere else. I'm not trying to be anyone else. I'm not trying to get anything. And again, that doesn't mean that the energy of desire isn't going to move through you and that you're not going to create your own universe. In fact, what's left to do after full enlightenment, full psychological enlightenment? Well, I guess you'll have to find out. But it could be that you want to create your own universe, that love extends itself into helping others in some way, whether that's creating artwork, whether that's creating ethical products, whether that's creating high frequency medical devices, like whatever that is, you'll have to find out. I can't tell you what that is. But the fact of the matter is, we are always getting what we want. The problem is that people are scattered. People's thoughts, people's attention is scattered by social media, by their feelings of lack. If you don't feel whole and you're single and you really are attached to the idea of being in a relationship, you're going to, every day when you're not in a relationship, you're going to find some reason to feel lack, to feel depressed, to feel like there's something missing in your life. And so there's the illness, there's the sickness. I'm creating depression because I'm searching for something outside of me. If you were to point your consciousness at wholeness, right? If you were to really focus and tell the universe and just really genuinely decide within yourself, what I want more than life itself, more than anything, what I want as much as a drowning person wants to breathe is wholeness, right? You have to get to that place. And that takes care of everything. Because if you're always feeling full and you're always just content being here, because contentment is not the goal. It's not the feeling of contentment. Contentment is a natural result of wholeness. So if you're feeling whole and you're just happy to be alive, there's really not much to do but celebrate being alive. And therefore you attract more of the things that you've always wanted, and probably even greater, because there's no longer you're no longer serving two masters. You're not serving your ego, which perceives lack. And so you're like, how do I manifest my soulmate? How do I manifest the money? How do I manifest this? And there's nothing wrong with any of that. And I do understand that if you are having an intense physical challenge, that I can understand that what you might want more than anything is health, right? Because it's hard to focus your mind when your body's getting your attention. But health is wholeness. Illness comes from making investments in something other than our own heart, other than wholeness. So we get what we want. If we are experiencing any lack, it's because we are wanting to experience it. If I am experiencing a lack of finances, it's because I want a lack of finances. Why might I want a lack of finances? Because maybe I don't believe I deserve it. And so therefore, if I restrict that energy from entering my life, I'll earn my way into heaven and be good enough to be saved. Why would I want to create an illness? Maybe I want my ex-partner to come back and help me. Maybe I want to bring my family closer together. Maybe I want to feel the care that I never felt as a child. So I'm manifesting from a place of lack, from a place of searching outside of myself for love. I'm manifesting something to get what I want. So you have to get your priorities straight. What do you want? Focus on it. If you were to think every single day about how you were to say to yourself, I want to make $100,000 a month in a business, and you actually focused your mind on that, you focused on it every day, every day, every day, it would happen. Like I said, the problem is that some people don't even bother focusing on what they want because they don't believe they deserve it, because they don't believe they have, that's how life works. But really, innately, we all know that's how life works. So if we are not focusing on it, it's really almost always about deservability, that we don't believe we deserve it, or that we're afraid of many of the other perceived consequences of individuating too far from our family of origin, being too differentiated, too different from our parents, from our family, from our cousins. So if you were to decide that I want wholeness, and therefore health, and therefore abundance, and therefore love and contentment and joy more than anything, the universe will get to work making it happen. It's all about being one-pointed in my desire. So how do you do this? You have to genuinely realize, you have to genuinely be sick and motherfucking tired of your illness, whether it's whatever form of external searching you are doing. And by the way, another very fast way to get there is just to keep searching really, really hard without any resistance, without questioning yourself. It's like you're on a river of seeking. Just go for it 100%. If you really want that soulmate, if you really want that money, go for it as hard as you can. Point your consciousness, go for it. And if your soul is really wanting something deeper, like wholeness, you will almost get disenchanted, desencantada, with going for something that's not really the thing that's going to fulfill you. You'll find out quickly, right? Wherever you are, be there totally. Go 1,000,000 miles per hour, wherever you are. But maybe I'm planting a seed. Maybe you're at a point at a crossroads where this can land inside of you. Maybe you're at this point already where you're tired of external searching, and you're tired of investing in the world, in the sense of investing in it in a way that doesn't serve the goal of realizing perfect psychological wholeness. So what does that look like? I am trying too hard to prove myself. I'm trying too hard to date and look for a partner. I'm trying too hard to get my family to approve of me. All that seeking, it needs to almost feel like completely futile. In my life, when I realized how much unworthiness and also placing my value in having a partner. So before I got divorced, I had already had incredible like Kundalini awakening, right? For years. And I honestly didn't feel like on a daily basis, I didn't feel lack. I didn't feel lack. It's only after I got divorced and years passed, and for the first time in my life, I was confronted with something that has always been very important to me, which is that I've always wanted a family. And so here I am at age 36, right? This was a year and a half ago when this really started hitting me. And it's not here, and it doesn't feel close, and it doesn't feel right. So I start to feel lack. I start to feel panic. And it was brought into my awareness that, wow, I still have an attachment. There's nothing wrong with a desire for a family. There's nothing wrong with it. But I have an investment. My identity is too invested in the idea of being a mother. If I wasn't invested in an unhealthy way, then not being a mother wouldn't hurt me so much. So I realized that I place so much of my worth and my value in having a partner. And I tried my damnedest to make certain things happen, to force relationships, to, even so much of the self-work that I dedicated myself to, I dedicated it at the time. I thought I was dedicating it to a partner, a person I was with, to be good enough for them. At the end of the day, I wasn't good enough for them. And I'm so glad that I wasn't. Because had that not happened, I wouldn't have realized, like, wait, this isn't right. Like, yeah, family is important to me. Children are important to me. That hasn't changed. But I don't like what I'm doing to myself. I don't like who I'm being when I'm believing that I have no worth if this isn't happening in my life. This was not an easy thing for me to let go. I've been digesting this for years. So no matter how much inner work I did, no matter nothing that I did, it wasn't happening. And now I know why. Because I am not going to live one more day worshiping false idols. I am whole. I am psychologically whole. I can honestly say that. The thing that used to hurt me on a daily basis doesn't touch me anymore. It doesn't touch me. I'm okay. I'm okay. This is so beautiful for me. This is so, I find myself, like before I got divorced, I was happy all the time. I went through a very stressful period. I've talked about a little bit of it on this channel about some of the challenges I faced. It was a kind of an unusually strenuous thing. A 3-year divorce, so much strife, so many bizarre, dark things that popped up. But this is the initiation that my soul chose. So, bottom line, wholeness is all that matters. Worthiness, wholeness, worthiness, wholeness. I started tuning into worthiness because I identified through Rohan, through the therapy that I do for others, which maybe I'll make a separate video restating my services. Rohan is a big commitment financially and time wise, and you can email me, alexandrafrancesca87@gmail.com, if you want to inquire about that. But through that, I realized that unworthiness was literally a thread in every, like, not a thread, it was like the entire tapestry of my personality. And finally, I identified that, so I chose to tune into worthiness. I'm going to tell you how to do it at the end of this video. I just started focusing on it. I became one pointed. I threw away everything else. Forget the partner, forget the family, forget anything. Just forget, even my digestion got a little frazzled recently. And I'm like, forget that. Forget it all. I don't care. I don't want perfect digestion. I just want one thing. I want to know unequivocally that I am a worthy being psychologically. I want to know that. I want to be a vessel of worthiness to receive the light, in my physical life. Light being energy, light being friendships, love, and every other form of blessing. And then what started to dawn on me was, wow, now that I have embodied the energy of worth, I have really strong boundaries. Boundaries create a strong root chakra. The root chakra is where we manifest. I used to literally not have the outer band of my aura. It's like I didn't even have a root chakra. I was so spaced out. I was so non-physical. I was so ethereal. I was checked out. And the Kundalini awakening actually made it worse. It amplifies everything. I was so out of my body that I would walk down the street and see someone, another person, right? There are no other people. There's just one being here. I would literally switch into their perspective, looking back at me, looking back at Alex. Like, I would have like the most intense, like, I've never done ayahuasca. People talk about like what they experience in ayahuasca. I swear to God, I was on ayahuasca for many years, like, or something similar to that, because Kundalini amplified my already ethereal personality, but it wasn't healthy. So I created iron boundaries, and wow, guess what? Dizziness went away. Feeling claustrophobic in tight spaces went away. Right? I went for worthiness first and the health followed. Now I'm talking about wholeness addressing that lack that I was still feeling of, like, the reminder that I don't have a family. Like, I would allow, as happy as I am for every single friend I have that has a baby, and I truly am, like, I'm overjoyed for them, but then I would simultaneously feel a sadness within me. And I just decided I need to change. I need to transmute this. Not that I need to change it because it's wrong, but I want to live in wholeness, period. So I changed my focus. I want unequivocally, all I want is wholeness. You get what you want. You get what you want. So I started focusing on wholeness, 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 wholeness. Forget everything else. Forget health. Forget this. Forget that trip. Forget whatever. Forget it. I just want wholeness. I just want wholeness. Wholeness, the natural, uh, the natural the natural, ¿cómo se dice? The natural uh, symptoms of wholeness, as I said, are peace, joy. Because if you have no lack, like, your natural state is like, you want to bounce around, you want to dance, you want to, you don't have to like try to dance and be happy. You don't have to try to do anything. There's no effort. There's no trying. You don't have to try to feel anything. Because in the absence of lack, nothing's tugging at you. Nothing can hurt you. So here's how you do it. Again, you get what you want. I don't know how many times I can say it. Take an inventory. What do you want? How scattered is your consciousness? What are you focusing on? Have you decided unequivocally that you want one thing? Worthiness, wholeness. In the morning, meditate. The unconscious mind, first of all, it's not just doing this exercise and meditating. It's the strength of your genuine desire. It's your desire, it's your desire, it's your desire, it's your intensity of desire. And often what gets us there is realizing that nothing else works. And I'm not taking away the sacredness of that journey. But if this lands for whatever reason and you want to try this, I suspect that it might help. The unconscious responds to pictures. So if you tell your unconscious, right, if you draw a symbol like a W, that means wholeness. What does that mean? I am whole. I am perfect as I am. I am enough. Basically, that's it. I'm enough. I'm perfect as I am. I am whole. I am wholeness. I am joy. And the feeling of that is deep peace and joy. If you just choose that every day, bring it up in your consciousness, relax your consciousness into a theta brainwave state, and just choose it every day. Choose it every day. Choose it every day. Not just in meditation, when you walk your dog, when you go for a drive. Wholeness, wholeness, wholeness. And when your mind starts saying, oh, but I don't have this, and they have this, and I don't have, say no. Say no to that. Interrupt it and say no, right? Have compassion for yourself. This is not about denial. This is about choosing to believe that you are worthy and that you are whole. Really, wholeness is different from worthiness. You might have to work on worthiness first. I recommend going frequency by frequency. What do you need first? Do you need forgiveness first? Are you locked in guilt? Focus on that. Focus on forgiving self, letting the past be the past, acknowledging that everything that has happened has been a co-creation that I cannot change, that was meant to happen. So there is literally no use in carrying the energy of guilt. This is all God's will. Focus on forgiveness, right? Then worthiness. Again, you know you need to focus on worthiness if there is no circuitry of your energy, if you are giving from a good place, from a place of no agenda, if you are giving without expectation, but you are not receiving, it's because you don't believe you deserve to receive. That's how it was one of the big reasons that people who do a lot of work on themselves are not financially free. They don't believe they deserve it. So you might need to meditate and bathe in the frequency of worth. And you might need to affirm things all day long. Yeah, using affirmations and intentional thoughts absolutely works, but it has to be, it's not just going like a robot, like chat GPT, just generating sentences. It's like, no, I've decided that I'm fucking worthy, and I'm going to interrupt my thoughts today, and I'm going to say, no, I am worthy. I am a worthy being. I deserve to receive. God wants to give me everything. I'm a vessel of the light. I'm supposed to receive. I'm supposed to receive. Life is supposed to be good. I am lovable and perfect as I am. You know, I've talked to a lot of people. I have a great example of a couple I know. Like, if you have a health problem and you don't believe you deserve like a partner because you have a health problem, I don't know who needs to hear this, is coming to mind. I have a beautiful friends that they're a couple, and she used to have seizures. She doesn't anymore because she healed. But you know, he just loves her so much and takes care of her, and accepted her as she was. Accepted her. Oh, she might have a seizure on the airplane. He accepts her. It's actually, the story of their engagement is extremely touching, just the speech he gave her. But I just want you to know, if you think that you're not good enough because of any reason, really any reason, whether it's a health thing, whether anything that happened, that's fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. You do deserve love. So that might be something that you need to tune into. So the unconscious responds to images. So choose a symbol for worth, for wholeness, tune into it every single day. When your mind is one pointed and there's a genuine desire and you've genuinely come to that place of desire, that literally moves mountains. It moves mountains, and you'll be shocked that things that used to make you feel sad or hurt, or that just like that little punch in your gut, is just gone. It's just gone because the universe is a loving universe and it just responds to what you are wanting. If you used to create things, chaos in your life because it made you feel alive, you have free will and the universe says, okay, we'll bring you chaos. Now I don't need chaos. I don't need pain to make me feel alive. I'm whole. I'm whole. And I can feel my beautiful aliveness from my wholeness. And therefore, my aura will not attract to me that anymore. It's really simple. It's just about what do you truly want and are you willing to focus on it at the exclusion of other things? It doesn't mean that the other things you desire don't matter. I'm just asking you, what's your primary desire? Okay, soulmate, children, business, that has to be secondary. Or it doesn't have to, but it will, the speed at which it manifests is what's your primary desire. If your primary desire is actually wholeness, but you're thinking it's the soulmate, what'll happen is you'll try to get a soulmate, won't work, then you realize what you really want is wholeness. Yeah. So let's just cut to the chase and begin at the end, which is what I want is to feel whole. Tune into it. Tune into that potential. Tune into that potential all day, every day. Ask your higher self for a stream of consciousness, for affirmations to affirm inside of you. Instead of listening to information and audiobooks and music, put something out. Put something out. Put out a thought. Put out a thought. Scream to the universe, I am a whole being. I am a worthy being. Make it your primary desire, your primary point of focus. So you get what you want. Period. I hope this has been helpful. I really do. I know that, you might tune into the energy of wholeness. You might say to the universe, I want to embody the energy of wholeness, psychological wholeness. Meaning I'm in deep peace pretty much 24/7. Doesn't mean I don't have emotions, doesn't mean that, someone might not annoy me from time to time, but like on a chronic basis, I am not feeling that I'm missing anything. I don't know how long it will take for you. It depends on your beliefs. It depends on what's in your energy that needs to be brought into your awareness so that you can discard it. But if you just keep with that one pointed focus, really that will bring you home at whatever pace and at whatever time is right for you. So I hope this has been helpful and I hope you have a beautiful day.